Ethan Segall for WNUR Sports, here with head coach David Braun ahead of Northwestern's matchup against Central Michigan in the GameAbove Sports Bowl in Detroit, Michigan. And Coach Braun, a few bowl-eligible teams across the country opting out of bowls, but this Northwestern team attacking this challenge. Why is this bowl game still something that's so important to this Northwestern program and the culture you're trying to build?
Yeah, ultimately, there's so many it's limited opportunities in the game of college football, and when you're ultimately have an opportunity to play an additional game, win a bowl championship, that's just something that permeates throughout our entire culture. It matters to these guys to compete. It matters to finish off the season the right way, and to not only as a program say, no, this is important, but also every single individual that easily could have made a decision to potentially decide not to play, to have our entire team at full strength with a group that ultimately really invested in the last few weeks is something that as a coaching staff we don't take for granted. It's such an honor to coach this group.
A handful of seniors suiting up for the final time in a Northwestern uniform. What have you noticed about the way they've attacked this game, and what's the messaging been to those guys?
Yeah, ultimately, the messaging to those guys has been finish what we started. It dates all the way back to last January, almost a year ago, in terms of the decision that we all made to how are we going to raise the standard and really start to operate as a program that in this new landscape, in this new Big Ten, is boldly stating that our goal is to win a Big Ten championship. And ultimately we fell short of that goal this year, but the way that this group has operated, the legacy that these seniors have left behind, and the way that they've approached this bowl prep, as a coaching staff, you're concerned how the first few practices are going to go. Is there going to start to be some boredom that sets in with such a long prep? And every single practice opportunity that we've had with this group, they've taken full advantage of. Now it's time for us to put that into action on game day.
You find out about 3 weeks ago that your opponent is going to be Central Michigan. When you break up that week-to-week grind and have that extra prep time, what changes in the preparation? What additional flexibility does that give you?
It gives you an opportunity to really go through and install in a very calculated fashion, really make sure that everyone fully understands. Sometimes, in game week, in season, that things are moving really fast, but really we're able to lay it out and then create 2 full weeks of essentially full week of prep, and then having an opportunity to clean it up and repeat that preparation. And it's also been an incredible opportunity for us to really invest in guys in this program that maybe aren't playing much for us on game day, but are still truly developing, to see some of that development in a Marcus Romaine, a Noah Laporte, an Elijah Jones, a John Stevens. I mean, the list could just go on and on and on. It's been really fun. And even just a couple days ago in our last padded practice here at Ford Field, we let those young guys get out there and compete their tails off. And you can tell they're looking around, they're like, man, I'm doing this in an NFL stadium. A pretty special moment for those guys.
Looking at Central Michigan specifically, it's a team that's rotated in and out quarterbacks, used multiple quarterbacks all season long. What are some of the challenges of preparing for a team that rotates in at the most important position?
Yeah, it can be really challenging. It can be challenging for the opposing offensive coordinator to manage that, but Jim Chapin does a phenomenal job with that. Matt Drinkle, their head coach, very innovative on offense, very clear on who they want to be, and it's going to be a challenge to us from a standpoint of they're going to run the quarterback. They're going to put us in some conflict situations, and we're going to have to be really aware of who they're utilizing at the quarterback situation, understand their skill set. But Jim's done a good job of balancing all those guys in terms of making sure that they're still viewed as a true dual threat quarterback.
And then finally, what are some of the keys to the game? Maybe some key stats that, hey, if Northwestern wins in X, Y, and Z, I think we have a good chance to win today.
It's going to be absolutely critical against an offense that really prides himself on staying ahead of the sticks, that when we get our third down opportunities that we execute and get off the field on third down, can we create a couple opportunities to create a 3-and-out scenario that can really build momentum for our offense. And then offensively, Central Michigan is aggressive, a lot of pressure looks. We got to do a great job of staying ahead of the sticks, sustaining drives, and then when we get in the red zone, we need to turn it into 7 points.